Another week in the books, and I don't know about you guys, but up here in Montreal, Canada, it's freezing. It's freezing. This is criminal. It's absolutely brutal. But hope everybody had a good week. Welcome to episode 32 of the weekly comic wrap up, guys. This is the show where I wrap up things that took place within the week, market sales, hot topics, and of course going through some FOC stuff. But there's also football. Yes, football's going on. I know a lot of people are watching the Chiefs game right now. I'm keeping tabs as well. So, like I said, I hope everyone had a good week. If you're a Bucks fan, a Texan fan, Packers fan, sorry. But anyways, big show tonight, guys. Before we get into the show, I want to give a shout out to a special somebody on Instagram. If you guys aren't already following him yet, check this out. He's got me on a cover. Shop for Comics, man. Shop for Comics has been doing some awesome, fun art, man. I really dig his stuff, and yeah, man. So he actually dropped this today on Instagram. So give him a follow. But this is the ASM 252 cover with myself on it. Yes. And he's doing many other people as well within the community on covers, which is awesome. So check him out. Show him some love. Check it out on Instagram. Dude, I can't stress it enough. Some fun stuff headed coming out on his end. So give him a follow, man. Also, before I bring on the guest, if you're following me on Instagram, guys, you know I'm hyped. You know I'm hyped about the live action Zelda, right? That's supposed to be coming along. So I came across something on the internet, and I actually don't know who did this. This is some AI stuff, but man, tell me this doesn't look amazing. Live action. I would love to see something along these lines right here. Obviously, you got the Great Deku tree right here with Link. It's just so, yeah, look at that. Come on. Anyways, I really hope we get something along the lines looking like this. I would absolutely love it. All right, enough about me, enough about what I love. We're going to hang out with the guy who does the pressing, the cleaning, and of course the submitting for myself. And of course, I definitely wanted to hear some of his perspectives. Guys, some of the hot stuff that dropped this week news-wise, that's CGC 9.9 pre-screening, right? I'm curious to hear what he has to say about this. So, guys, if you're not already yet, definitely sub up to Gear Up 260. Show some love because he just kicked off his YouTube channel as well. He's getting back a ton of books all the time, always doing the work, and he's got some unboxing videos that will blow your mind. He's even got 9.9s in there. But, guys, lo and behold, none other than Gear Up, baby. What's up, bro?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. I see you've got that awesome McFarlane t-shirt right there. It's a book I'm actually chasing. I could imagine you've seen at least 200 copies in your lifetime.
Very popular cover, man. Get them all the time. All the
Yep.
time. Yeah.
And I'm assuming, is it a tough book, when it comes to cleaning, pressing, and so forth?
That particular book, because of the back cover, it's all black. Mostly the advertisement. Fingerprints are really tough to remove.
Yeah.
One thing. The other thing is, I don't know why the top staple is always offset and never on the spine. Every copy I've seen is like that.
That's nuts, man. I'm hoping to lock one down because it's actually one of my favorite McFarlane covers, and I still don't own it, dude. After all these years of collecting, I've always just never picked it up. Yeah, not because I never had the opportunity. It's just the prices have always been
insane.
Yeah, absolutely insane, and justifiably so. But besides that book, I was talking a little bit about your channel, man. You're doing some cool things, man. You submit, right? Talk to me about Comic Book Corner.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's been it was just out of the blue. It kind of just developed because I was kind of a bit diagnosed with an illness, and I couldn't really work. I couldn't do much. I was stuck at home, and I had a lot of free time. And I was sending my books to CGC for pressing and grading, and the turnaround was just insane. And I said to myself, maybe I could do the pressing myself and see where this goes. And I practiced and practiced. A year at home, you have a lot of time, man. And to me, the books looked great. I said the test would be to send them to CGC and see what the experts think. And I was blown away by the results, honestly. And then you saw the results when I was doing unboxings. You came up to me like, hey, can you do some of my books too? And then it just escalated from there, man. Everybody's asking me to do their books for them. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, it's funny because you and I met, it was during the pandemic, right? So it's I
Yeah.
would say literally at the start. It's probably what 3 years now that we know each other, and you submit the books for me, you clean my books and press them, and you work magic, dude. Like for somebody who absolutely, absolutely said, you know what, let me try and do this myself and let's see where it goes. You literally work magic. You've done some great things to my books, and you always do a great service, but um, you know, one of the things I also know is that, when I come over to drop off some stuff and I'm like, hey, here, I would like to submit these books, you always have like at least six pressers going all at once, man. Like you're on fire. Like business has picked up.
My wife is always complaining, man. I'm never around. I'm always in the basement.
That's nuts, man. And I look, I know some people here in the chat as well. Like I see Newbie Comics. He wants to, experiment and as well. So it's actually cool to hear that side, from your story, how it started as a let me try this thing, and here you are. You've pretty much perfected it, and you keep doing great work on everybody's books. We're in a group chat with almost 100 people, right? And all these people confide in you when it comes to their books. So there you
Yeah,
have it.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something, but maybe it'll come back to me.
No stress, no stress. But while you think about it, of course, we have the show to get into, and we have a lot of people here in the chat that we want to show some love to. So
Nice.
let's give them some love. I was just talking about this guy right here, Shop. Yes, of course. So guys, like I said, Shop for Comics. Go show him some love. Go check out his Instagram. He's putting out some great artwork. I love it. I love it. I love seeing especially the community members, their faces on characters and stuff like that. So who knows, man? Hit him up. He just might do you as a character, right? So appreciate you, Shop. Michael Baker's in the house. Baker, I know you were here bright and early, of course, in the comment section. So appreciate you being here with me tonight. And of course, stick around, guys. In the market report, we've got a Baker Shaker. That's right. So he's got some cool books headed our way tonight. Was just talking about Newbie Comics. So definitely go check out Newbie Comics, man. Yeah, everybody here knows exactly who he is, but on Instagram, he's doing his thing and hopefully going to be back on the YouTube scene very soon. And like I told you, Gear Up, he is looking to do the exact same thing. So we'll see if in a few years from now he'll have like 6 machines running like you do.
Why not, man?
Yep,
Anything's possible.
exactly, man. You got Seven Magic in the house, man. Appreciate you coming to hang out with myself and Armin tonight. We've got Derek. Yes, Derek. Good evening, man. I appreciate everybody here in the chat. I know it's a big weekend for football, but everybody's hanging out with us. Chia Pet, you know this guy. Yeah, you saw him today. Lucky you. Lucky you. But yeah,
Yeah.
man. Chia Pet, appreciate you coming to hang out. We got Gregory in the house. What's going on, Gregory? We also got Trev. Trev is going live immediately after. Well, he goes live at 10 p.m. Eastern time. So, guys, after this show, always go check out Trev, man. Show some love. He's doing some cool things over on his channel as well. Comic Nation's in the house. Yes, Comic Nation, baby. Guys, I will plug them very shortly. But in the meantime, take a minute, go check out Comic Nation US, man. You will not be disappointed. Constantino, another fellow Canadian out in the western side of Canada. That's right. He's out west in Canada. You might know our guest tonight. I wouldn't be too surprised here, man, because, of course, Canadians from all over are sending books to Armin. We got my wife for life, the one who holds down the fort in this awesome little home of ours. But Armin, what would we do without our better halves, right? You're doing this
Crazy.
show because of this, right?
Absolutely, man.
There you go. Wife's holding the fort. Your wife is also heavily involved with some of the stuff, right? And she
Yeah,
does
yeah.
just
She's helping out all the
shout
time.
out to her. Shout out to her because she she puts
100%.
up with your madness. Got Paul in the house, man. Paul, what's going on, bro? You're going live on Tuesday, man. Yes, let everybody know here in the chat what time you're going live. And of course, guys, sub up to Paul in the 619, my brother, and he's always posting some delicious tacos, bro. He's always posting that stuff. He's always getting me hungry. What we got here? Yeah, Paul's here. We got Phil's treehouse, man. Phil, what's going on, bro? Haven't caught you in this chat in a little bit. Missed you. Hope all is well. But appreciate you swinging by. You know this guy, Armin? I think I know this guy.
Oh, yeah. Of
House, yeah.
course.
We got Jason in the house, man. Appreciate you being here, bro. Uncanny Swag, yes, my brother, dude. He actually just picked up. I think it was an X-Men 61, and he showed it off last night on Spine Ticks. Guys, if you haven't, go watch the replay. But Swag, shout out to you. Congrats to you. That is a big book
Wow.
and a great grade. I won't spoil the grade. I spoiled the book, so I won't spoil the grade. But guys, go catch the replay of that. And it's a banger, man. Derek C is in the house, man. Derek, thanks for coming to hang out with myself and Armin. Who else we got here? We got Paperweight Collectibles, my brother. Dude, I'm gonna ship your books. I promise you, they're coming your way. Yes, you believe me that he was unable to find an Ultimate Spider-Man 1, obviously, on release day, new comic book day. He could not lock it down. His shop let him down. And then the following week, Avengers Twilight. There you go.
So
So
you're hooking them up.
I'm hooking them up. I'm gonna ship
Nice.
them those books. Dude, I will. If anybody falls short, hit me up. If I can help you, I definitely will. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, the hookup comes from Comic Legion. If I ordered enough copies from them, I will help you. But always check out Comic Nation. Comic Ozzy's in the house. Guys, breaking news. Comic Ozzy and I had a conversation, and he's going to be a guest on a very future episode, soon to be episode. I think it's going to be in 2 weeks from now. So looking forward to hanging out with Ozzy. It's been a while, so there you go, guys. You all don't tell anybody, just you guys. Who else we got here? I think we got almost everybody. If I miss anybody, oh no, of course, can't miss this guy. Got Bebop in the house. Yeah, buddy. Appreciate you being here. Love these pictures, man. JF's in the house. Armin, I'm sure you recognize JF. Yeah, from our group chat. So happy to see JF here, man. JF doing some great things in that chat too. He's got some good books too. Jewels, yes. Show or football? Guess people chose football. Yeah, that's exactly what
Oh
happened, man.
boy. It's a tough
That's
competition,
exactly what
man.
happened. Yeah. Lee Cooper's in the house, man. Lee, appreciate you coming to hang out. Of course, Sam Al's in the house, man. Sam, dude. You know, Sam knows his stuff. Sam definitely knows his stuff. Beneath the trees. He was on that out the gate. Out the gate. So
Wow.
shout out to Sam, man. Nothing but love for him. This guy, you know him? You know him? Yeah, Left Arrows.
Of
Left Arrows
course.
is in
Of
the
course.
house. Stick around, guys. We're about to go through some of the FOC picks by Left Arrows. So that's going to happen in just a few minutes. The Comic Con podcast is in the house. Yeah, is that Newbie Comics? He did. Once upon a time, he did. But guys, if you're not already yet, definitely go check out Comic Con podcast. I don't think I need to plug them, but they are definitely one of my favorite podcasts out there. New episodes banging every Friday morning on my drive into work. This Friday, I didn't go to work, to be honest with you. I worked from home, so I had to listen to it yesterday, but it was a great episode. So go catch that replay, guys. Katie's in the house. Katie was just live, man. So thank you, Katie, for immediately coming to hang out with us tonight. It means a lot to us. We got Nustra Venom in the house. Chris, my brother. Yes, man. Appreciate you being here. We got Rife and MTL hanging out with us. First time I see Rife and MTL here, so appreciate you. Hit that sub button, guys. Like, and of course, go sub up to Armin's channel as well. Gear Up 260. It's in the description of this video. But all right, I think we've got almost everybody. We got Ferdy in the house. Gotta say hi to Ferdy. Hopefully, Ferdy's gonna be a guest on very shortly. We still need to finish talking about that. But yeah, man. So okay, I think Armin, we got everybody. If we missed anybody, we apologize. But Armin, you and I have a lot of stuff to go into. We're gonna kick it off with some FOC. So before I do, like I ask everybody every week, I have to ask you: are you ready?
Born ready, man.
Let's do it. All right, guys, the FOC picks of the week, and these selections are for the week of January 22nd, selected by Lefteros. And of course, guys, go visit comicnation.us to get your orders in off of this FOC, and you can get an extra 5% discount by using the discount code Black Crown. That's right, it totals your discount to 20% off, and they will gladly hold your box and ship it out to you at any time. So take advantage of that, but not too much advantage, right, Armin? We don't want too much clutter. We don't want too much clutter.
Yeah, it's easy to go. It's easy to go nuts on comics, man.
Yep, dude, especially at these great prices. But let's get into the first pick of the week. So we have Batman 143. This is the cover A. Now it's Joker Year 1, Part 2. Chip Zdarsky, I don't need to speak much on him. Everybody should know who he is by now. One of my favorites, but unfortunately, I've not had the opportunity to read 142 yet, but I will be picking up 143. Are you on the Batman run?
I don't normally collect Batman, but whenever there's like a, an interesting story line, I usually pick it up. So
Yeah.
I did pick up 143.
Hmm.
Is that it?
Yep.
But I
Well,
haven't
no,
read.
this is 143.
So
142 was the one.
142 I've picked up. 143 I've ordered, but I have, like you, not read them yet. I'm hoping it's going to be better than Joker War.
Yeah, no, I'm hearing nothing but great things out of 142. I unfortunately saw a little bit of spoilers, so like I'm kind of like bummed by that, but I'm looking
Okay.
forward to reading the whole book
Me
in its
too.
entirety. Yeah, but definitely worth a pickup. And guys, I'm seeing some sneaky covers making their way to FOC as well. You might want to start talking about those with your LCS, see if they're available. Man, there's a nice Alan Qua and so forth. So just putting that out there. But anyways, I just spoke Sam L. I spoke Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This is issue number 1. It's making its way to third print. Now, this book absolutely exploded on the secondary market, especially immediately after release almost. First print, second print's doing pretty well. I'm going to assume that most people are catching on right now. So this might get a little heavily ordered or might get totally missed by some people. So I'm going to say don't take a gamble. I would be, picking up at least one copy. I don't know about you. Did you get the opportunity to pick up the first two?
No, I did not. I did not. It's not something that really appeals to me per se, but I mean, I hear great things about it for sure. It's
Yeah.
definitely worth a pickup if you like that kind of story.
Yes, no, absolutely. I think the combination of what they've put together here for this book is an absolute banger. I've been saying this almost every week when we talk about it on the cover price top 10. But yeah, we have the opportunity to pick up an issue 1 here, and thanks to it hitting a third print. So will it be heavily ordered? We shall see. I don't see any ratios available for this, so I don't think people are upping their orders for the sake of, but we'll see, man.
There's
There's
also not too much hype on it, so it could be underordered.
Yeah, we shall see. Chip at saying can't buy everything, but somehow hooked up, hooked the chat up. Yeah, he did, guys. I said it within the top 10 defects video that I did for the top 10 books of 2023. We have a Telegram chat. If anybody's interested, definitely hit me up on Instagram. I'll happily give you guys the link to those chats where we share a lot of information. So, the Energon Universe 2024 special number 1. So this is going to be available. Of course, free comic book day for 2024 books are starting to hit FOC. We had some pass within the last 2 weeks, and now, of course, lots of love for the Energon Universe and another classified cover. That's right. It feels like every week there's some sort of classified cover, whether it be Cobra Commander, whether it be Duke, whether it be anything. But the Energon Universe is definitely one of the best things that I'm reading at the moment. And I try not to speculate on free comic book day books. I really do. And I always feel like I get bit. I always get bit by that FOMO bug when it comes to free comic book day books, because nowadays, well, shops give out, let's say, 5 copies and so forth. And then, if you want to take a little more, makes sense that they're gonna bill you a little charge for that. So I don't know if I'm gonna go heavy on this one, but the fact it's classified and so forth, it's piquing my interest. I'm not gonna lie, man. What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, in general, free comic book day books usually don't go anywhere, but I did pick up 2 copies of this one. I'm not gonna lie. It
Yeah.
So far, every classified cover that these guys put out has been pretty good.
Oh yes.
So they haven't disappointed until now. I don't know why a free comic book day one would be disappointing. I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Worth picking up, definitely.
Absolutely. And Lefteros, you're right on this one. He's talking about the Beneath the Trees Where Nobody
Yeah.
Sees third print. Small window, yeah, because I didn't see it out the gate on the Tuesday morning. I saw it creep in, I would say probably on around Wednesday, Thursday, somewhere around there. So, yep, good point right there. But yeah, I'm picking up some of these for sure, man. Before we move on to the next book, Spine Ticks. That's right, man. Sith Lordly's in the house, and I was just talking about their show last night. I was about 30 minutes behind from their live time, so I was trying not to talk in the chat because then they would think I'm, mentally deranged. Like this guy's still living in the past. So, but yeah, man, it was a great show last night, guys. I cannot stress it enough. Go show some love to Spine Ticks. Check that replay. Left arrow saying, yeah, the Otley in the cover too. So yeah, all right, let's get to the next book, and of course, oh, dude, Incredible Hulk. So far, I'm enjoying every single issue that's coming out. But of course, issue 9, main cover right here, you've got the first appearance of Frozen Charlotte, likely the first appearance of a supernatural detective. Again, I can't stress it enough. I'm really enjoying this. I don't know if you're reading it. Highly recommend it if you're not, but this is a pickup for me.
Well, I've always been a Hulk collector and fan. One of the three titles I collect. Personally, went with the Capullo cover on this one.
Nice.
Yeah, but definitely worth picking up. 100%, man. From what I heard, this Hulk run is better than the previous one, and the previous one was started off weird and just didn't go anywhere. So,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to reading it.
Yeah, dude. No, it's so good, man. I'm loving every second of it, and I agree with you, and I agree with majority of the people here in the chat. Of course, Jason's saying the same thing. The Capullo cover, man. That Capullo cover is so good,
Yeah.
so good. I'm irrationally annoyed by the soft G in Energon. Right? I kept saying Energon for the longest time. I felt like it sounded better, right? I don't picture Optimus being like Energon. Energon. Like, I don't know. But anyways, whatever. I'm just having a moment. But yes, it's Energon. But yeah, man. Left Arrow was saying ordering at least 2 of every issue, and I love this cover. Yeah, it's a great cover. But again, I cannot not show love to the Capullo one.
For sure.
All right, so Infernal's #1, described as an epic tale about family power legacy and the end of the world. Now, what I found pretty interesting here is that the story is by Ryan Parrott and Noah Gardner. Now, I'm familiar with Ryan because he's done Go-Go Power Rangers. There was another one that he had done. I forget what it is. I think Rogue Sun. Rogue Sun. I'm a huge, I don't want to say a huge fan. I'm a big fan of the Radiant, Massiveverse, and all that fun stuff. But Rogue Sun's been absolutely great. Go-Go Power Rangers, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. So I think I'm going to give this one a shot. I'm not, again, the whole family power legacy and the end of the world. I want to say I kind of feel like I've seen this a few times already within comics, but the writer behind this, the writers, sorry, gives me a little confidence boost here. I think I might pick this one up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a different genre from the Radiant Black style of universe versus what they're putting out now.
Yeah.
But
100%.
Could be good. Who knows, man?
Yeah. This is about the anarchist, and it's by the writer of Rogue Sun. This is going to be worth checking out. 100%, man. I'm totally going to. I'm leaning towards it. I'm pretty much gonna pre-order this one. Clearly, you're not children of the '80s, or the soft G would be normal to you guys. Hawks in the house, man. Yes, another brother who's absolutely killing it on the YouTube scene. I genuinely enjoy watching what he puts up. Guys, definitely go show some love to Hawk and give him a nice subscribe, hit some likes on those videos, and get the algorithms going. All right. Rebel Moon, House of the Blood Axe, #1. This is the second print, and of course, it's the prequel to the Netflix movie by Zack Snyder. Again, I've heard nothing but negative out of Rebel Moon. Unfortunately, I've not had the opportunity to watch it because, well, I'll be honest with you. When I do have time to watch TV, I tend to fall asleep. I've reached that age. It's terrible, but the couch wins. But yeah, man, already hearing some negative things. I haven't watched it, like I said, but did you have the opportunity?
No, man. Like, I have so little time to actually watch anything that if I want to watch something, I want to make sure it's something that people say is good versus bad. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I haven't even given it a thought to really watch, man. So I would definitely not pick up the comics related to a franchise that's not doing well, you know?
Yeah. No, for sure. And that's why for myself, this might be a pass. I don't think I'm going to be picking this one up. But
likewise.
Yeah, see, did not particularly like the movie. Feel like no one will order this at all. Gonna stash 2 away. So there you go. Yeah, maybe it'll be a thing for scarcity. We'll see down the road. But Sinister Sons #1, man. This is pretty interesting. First meeting of Sinsen and Lord Zod. again, when it comes to DC, I usually stick to the main characters, right? I'm usually reading, I would say, Batman, some Superman, obviously Teen Titans. I, I think that's pretty much it. I've read some Harley, some Poison. The Poison Ivy was actually really good. I'm not gonna lie. I was
Really?
enjoying Poison Ivy. But this one, I think I'm gonna have to give it some time to wait and see. That's the approach I'm gonna take.
Um, yeah, I normally stay away from DC, man. I'm just going with Batman, Joker, Harley. Those are the three, man. Stick to the mains. You can't go wrong.
Yep, 100%, man. But last but not least, we're gonna talk Ultimate Spider-Man 2. Yes, because number one absolutely blew up, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But here you've got issue number 2. This is the main cover. Now it's full, the first full in-story appearance of Earth 6160 Spider-Man. Already, that's a big one.
Oh
First
yeah.
full appearance and cover of Earth 6160 Green Goblin, and first appearance of Earth 6160 Shocker. Now, the pairing of Jonathan Hickman and Mark Cicchetto is just absolutely amazing. I'm loving the art. I'm loving everything about it. The story was so good on issue 1. And now, with issue 2, you're getting these first appearances, which I do think are going to be pretty significant if, this ultimate stuff does hold its own, because already we've seen nothing but love out the gate, right? Now, of course, there's also that other cover, which is the Manhanini. I can't even pronounce it properly, but regardless of the fact, you guys know exactly which one I'm talking about. And I think that's very much worthy of a pickup as well. It's a connecting with his cover for issue
With the
1. So,
reflection.
yeah, exactly. I'm totally picking up that cover. I'm picking up this cover, and I am going to pick up a few copies of those two, 100%.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I cannot agree more. I finally had a chance to read the first issue a few days ago, and it was nothing. I wasn't expecting it to be like that. It
Yeah.
was totally unexpected, but yet I still loved it. I loved it, man. It
Yep.
was just amazing. And I there's not one negative thing I can say. The characters, the way they portrayed the characters, the way they wrote the characters, it just put a nice, fresh spin on things, man.
Yep. Couldn't agree
Wow.
more. Couldn't agree
Wow.
more. Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, it definitely made some moves on the secondary market, which we will talk about very shortly. So, guys, that wraps up the FOC picks of the week this week. So, of course, support Lift Arrows by following Comic Nation US. Go to the website and, of course, use that extra 5% off by using the discount code Black Crown. It's going to total your entire discount at FOC to 20% off of the cover price. And, of course, speaking cover price, go visit Cover Price as well, the best comic book price guide around, and of course, very informative. One of my favorite go-to websites. So that was the FOC picks of the week. Not bad, Armin, for a guy fresh on YouTube. You know what you're doing, sir. I see him blushing. I see him blushing. But guys, like I said, we're gonna talk some market stuff because the market
Cool.
definitely was out. It was taken over. It was ultimate. It definitely was, but as expected, if you guys caught the episode last week, I pretty much said I expect Ultimate Spider-Man to be at least in the top threes, and it was nearly a clean sweep of the entire top 10. So
Oh yeah.
we'll talk a bit about that, but I obviously selected books from other lists as well. So Armin, gonna ask again. We're gonna talk market. Are you ready?
Ready, man. 100%.
Let's go, baby. All right, so market reports. If you're new to the channel, I basically highlight books that sold on the secondary market from the week, and of course, using lists from places such as CBSI, Cover Price, eBay, Go Collect, Key Collector, all lists. You name it, I'm looking. So let's get into the first book. And of course, we were just talking Ultimate Spider Man #1. Now, this is the cover A story by Jonathan Hickman, of course. Raw highs were hitting $70. That is madness. A book that just launched literally the same week was hitting 70 USD on a cover A. Number one on cover price and CBSI. And like I said, we also had some other covers hit the list. Let's talk about this one real quickly. Ultimate Spider-Man number one. Of course, this is the Chichetto Costume Tease A variant. This one's the one that a lot of people were flocking to. Now, if you read the book, I think I understand as to why. I want to say I think so. But realistically, you're sleeping on that the man Hanini, whatever. Jesus, I can't get it. But regardless, you know which cover I'm talking about. Raw high for this one, 107 Canadian dollars. That's pretty impressive for a simple, what was it, a 4.99 book at
Yeah.
launch, somewhere around there. So I think it was 5.99. But anyways, regardless, this cover came in at number 3 on cover price and number 2 on CBSI. There's been so many covers that came out for this one, but a lot of love came this way. This one here, cover A. I think long term, a lot of people are sleeping on the Stegman one. I think the Stegman is gonna, play out to be a pretty good book, and also the Manhanini one. So those two are still going to be my favorites, but you can never go wrong with the cover A. Now, you just finished saying it was a great read, absolutely incredible. But is this justified? Do you think?
What blows me away is that, first of all, in 35 years of collecting, I've never seen a book the week of hit $100 Canadian ever,
Yeah.
ever. So, I mean, even I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know why stores in particular would under order such a book. You have two powerhouses creating it. I thought this thing was going to be flooding the market.
Yep.
And that my copies were going to be worthless, to be honest with you. I only ordered 5.
Yeah.
And I'm scrambling to get more now.
Pretty much, we're all five. We're all 5 of the cover A.
No, they were the Campbell cover, man. Because I'm a Campbell guy.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think the Campbell cover is a great cover, man. It's absolutely beautiful. And in fact, if such a book holds in time, getting that signed by Campbell in a nice 9.8 or hopefully 9.9 nowadays, we'll see. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, man. So I think it's still a good pickup, whether it's 5 Campbells or whatever it is. Ultimate Spider-Man 1 is a good pickup. It's a great read, man. And for once, sure, we can say that there's some first appearances within the book. But I think realistically why everybody flocked to this is also because of just how good it was. I think, the hype train absolutely exploded and everybody was on this because of the fact that it was a good read. There's the first appearance keys as well in there, right? A lot of people, if you didn't read it, maybe you're picking it up because you want to read it, or maybe you heard some stuff or whatnot. I'll try not to spoil too much for the sake of anybody who missed out on it. But yes, there are some good ones, first appearance wise, but a phenomenal read. And to see this book just based on that, a refreshing take on Peter Parker, on Spider-Man, and that life of Peter Parker and where he's at in his life. It was great. Absolutely great. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope one little thing where you know how, okay, if you're a Spider-Man fan and you've been collecting for like, let's say 30 years, and you see how the character is evolving, kind of like yourself as well. You're growing up, you're evolving, you're becoming more mature. The characters you're reading are becoming more mature.
Yeah.
So when Marvel reset that whole thing with, you know what I'm talking about, with Mephisto and everything, and Peter Parker was no longer the mature adult and he became kind of like a kid again, dude, that was like a big turnoff for me and many other collectors as well. So when you see a mature Peter Parker back in action again, it just wow. This is what we've wanted and waiting for the past 20 years, man.
Couldn't agree more, man. But it's a wonderful book. And like I said, I really hope also people are not sleeping on FOC. I'm not hyping the book and saying order 400 copies. I'm just saying it is a great book to be picking up. So don't sleep on it.
Absolutely.
But all right, let's get away from the Ultimate Spider-Man talk and let's talk a book that you definitely know well. Yes, Spawn number 1. First appearance of Spawn, Al Simmons. Now, dude, CGC 9.9 sold for $4,800 coming in at number 12 on cover price. Dude, I have a lot of questions for you on this one.
This is crazy. Is there any other 9.9s on the census? I didn't check.
Yes, there are some 9.9s. What's funny about this book, man, is when you check the census, there's well over 30,000 copies that have been graded, right? This book is absolutely nuts when you check the CGC census. But
Wow.
in 9.9s, there's a few. It's not like there's one or two. I think there's I won't get to the actual number. I can tell you guys by verifying now while we're having this discussion, but
Sure.
yeah, like I said, I think a total, like going across all grades, there's over 30,000 copies that are graded. So
That's impressive. That's
yeah,
up there with like ASM 300,
yeah,
if you
pretty
think about
much.
it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. I had no idea that Spawn 1 was that heavily graded, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, it is very heavily graded. Now, what I want to ask you here as well is because I'm sure you've seen many copies of this book, right?
I've probably submitted 100 myself.
And those are all probably within your PC.
No, I think I have one.
Yeah, there you go. Well, because I know you're a Spawn fan. Now, speaking Spawn, and speaking this book, the all black cover and so forth. When you submitted those 100 copies, how did you find, the cleaning, the pressing? We spoke a bit about those black covers, but
Well, I'm going to tell you something, man. Image, by far, even from the 1990s, always had superior quality paper. So these spawns are very easy to work on, very easy to clean, and you could press a lot of crazy defects out of them because the paper is that good.
yeah,
Very easy to get 9.8s on any spawn, man.
yeah.
Honestly.
But that 9.9, can we get that 9.9?
That is tough. That's why I said, is there any other ones? I'm surprised they got 4,800 US, man, because it's like a $500 book in 9.8.
Yeah. So look,
Not even.
so in a 9.9, I'm seeing there's 77 copies, 69 universal, 8 signature series. So just to give
Wow,
you an
that's a
idea,
lot.
the actual total 9.8s that exist is 15,766, and the total amounts graded. And yes, there's two 0.5s. Somebody
Oh,
graded two 0.5s. Total is 32,466 on
that's
census.
impressive, man. That's
Yeah,
all Todd.
yeah,
That's just because Todd created that book,
yeah.
or else nobody would care about Spawn 1.
Yeah, exactly, man. And you know what? Look, there's a lot
Crazy.
of love for Spawn, and Spawn fans are hardcore, and rightfully so. It's good stuff, but there's also talks of future projects. Todd McFarlane recently said again, yeah, it's still gonna happen. So fingers crossed. Hopefully, we get it soon. But
Yeah.
very interesting to see a 9.9 of this book, and I had no idea there were 68 universal copies. So
So it's doable, man.
yep.
Maybe we'll get one eventually.
Hopefully, we'll see what our pre-screen option very shortly. We'll talk about that. But all right, moving on to the next book. This is a very neat one. Action Comics 12. So this is the first cover appearance of Zatara, a CGC 0.5 sold for 7,500 US dollars. It came in as a cover price shaker. And what is very interesting and neat about this book is, of course, it's from 1939, the month of May. You see it right there on the book. Ironically, Detective Comics 27 as well was out at this time. And yeah, this book actually features an advertisement for that. So very neat book, man. Of course, it's in my opinion, that price tag is pretty much justified. If you can get anything from the 30s, right? From the 30s of a comic book, props to you, man, because 7,500 US, it's not chump change. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Those books in any grade are impossible to find. And when they hit the market, it's kind of like a one of a kind because there's no other copy to compete with.
Yeah.
And if there's 10 people that want that book, bro, the price is just gonna keep going up, man, until somebody gives up,
Yeah. I want to ask you, have you ever handled Golden Age books?
A few, man. I got
Yep.
some really old Batmans. I think the oldest Batman I did was issue 58.
Mhm.
Um, maybe I did some. What's it called? Some of those fun comics, fun times,
Yes.
stuff like that from the 20s, 30s.
Yep.
Um, one book was actually missing staples. A golden age book that had
Missing
no
tape.
staples.
Wow,
And
that's
and
interesting.
I think it was More Fun Comics. Don't ask me what issue it was, but I did manage to add some magazine staples to it because
Wow.
they were larger in size, right? Because back then the books were really thick. And
Yeah.
it's at CGC right now, man. I'm really curious as to what grade it's gonna come, or if they're gonna give it a restored label.
Okay, so you just sent this.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Oh, okay. So I look forward to that. When you do an unboxing, tag me in that. I wanna see
for,
that.
for sure, man. For
Yeah.
sure.
But all right, let's move on to the next book. Now, this is even more interesting because I had no idea this even existed. Guys, check this out. So, Adventure in Disneyland. This was an opening day promo book that was given out in 1955 for those who went to Disneyland. And apparently, there was a certain area, I forget what it was called, but you can check it out on Cover Price where they were handing these out at Disneyland. So a CGC 9.8, right, exists in this book. So just that alone, from 1955, it's a promo book. Who even maintained promo books, right?
That's insane.
Um, but yeah, man, stuff like this was meant to be handed and thrown out, right? It's type thing. And here we are now in 2024 looking at a CGC 9.8 sell for 6,050 US dollars. This was a cover price shaker and absolutely insane, man.
Dude, it's 70 years old, man. How could it be a 98?
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. That's
It's nuts.
crazy. Like you said, most people or kids that would probably read the hell out of this thing, man, and then just throw it away, or nobody would think about preserving it for 70 years, man.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Crazy stuff.
Oh, guys, the game is over. The Chiefs upset the Bills, man. I guess this is exactly what you guys are talking about in the chat. So, very 27-24.
we might gain some audience now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now that the game's over.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, very interesting cover price shaker. I thought this was neat. But let's get into Deadpool 45. Now, this is a cover I've actually seen pretty often, man. A lot of people seem to be in absolute fascination with this, and rightfully so. This is a gorgeous 1 in 50 Run the Jewels variant by Scotty Young. I absolutely think it's amazing. CGC 9.8 sold for 1,699 US dollars. I am not too sure, but that's probably the highest I've seen this book sell for, because I've not seen such a high price for it. Cover price shaker. What do you think about this book?
I love this book.
Yeah.
I love this book. I didn't even know this book existed until one of my customers brought me a 9.6.
Mhm.
They were like practically crying. They're like, please, please, can you make this a 9.8? I'm like, sure. But I go, I mean, there was this is a fat book, right? It's thick, it's oversized, and there was a production tear at one of the edges.
Oof.
I convinced them to send it to the Scotty Young signing instead of just doing a straight up blue label, because it would increase his odds of maybe getting a 9.8.
Yeah.
And bro, that's exactly what happened, man. He got back a signed 9.8, man.
That's the way. That's the way. Some people give me advice as well. If there's that like slight little defect or something you see on the book, tell them to sign right over it, type thing.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
trust me, I have my regrets for not listening, because I got back a 9.6 on a book that I absolutely love. But this book, especially, we've spoken black covers. Like, this is pretty much as black as a cover it's almost gonna get. But yeah, man, seeing a 9.8 in this book sell for 1,700, we'll say, US dollars, that's pretty impressive for a book. Run the Jewels, homaging. It's gorgeous, but I never thought I would see this book hit these prices. This is insane.
It's fairly recent too.
Yeah, and dude, I think I want to say it was like 2015, somewhere around there.
Right.
But yeah, anyways, awesome stuff. Big sale, cover price shaker.
Nice.
All right. I swear to God, guys, I'm not being biased here. Yes, Spider-Man, I'm a huge lover. Yes, I'm Italian, but this is not why it's on the list. I just want to put it out there. Spider-Man 2, number 1. This is a limited Italy Comics exclusive. It was limited to 3,000, and there's only 8 of these 898s, sorry, on the CGC census. CGC 9.8 sold for 495 US dollars. Cover price shaker as well. I think it's a gorgeous cover. This is Dell'Otto, right? Dell'Otto did this cover. And yeah, so I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to exclusives. I try to stay away from them because I think we all got bit by that exclusive bug during the pandemic. right? It's pretty much what everybody was almost flocking to. But one thing I want to say here is that I'm noticing a trend when it comes to foreign comics. A lot of foreign comics are starting to get a lot more love for some reason, right? So this one, I could understand the sale, and to be fair, factoring in that, that it's an exclusive, limited copies, and of course foreign, 495 US dollars. I think it's justified. I would say it's all right. Um, but yeah, I am noticing that trend when it comes to foreign comics.
Oh yeah, 100%. Even CGC is now recognizing and putting it on the label, right?
Yep.
Hey, you're welcome, Francis, man. Um, yeah, so they're actually recognizing all kinds of foreign comics, not just French Canadian ones. They're Italian, German,
Yep.
French. It's all being labeled. And
Japanese.
there's a reason for that, because there's a rarity in foreign comics, and people want that rarity.
Yep.
So, and they want it to be presented as a rarity, right? So
Yep.
the minute CGC started putting these on the labels, everybody wanted it even more. It became more exclusive,
Yeah, no, exactly, man. You're banging on with that one, but very interesting to see on the cover price shaker. I thought it would be very cool to highlight this one. So there you
Definitely.
have it, Spider-Man 2, #1, Italy Comics exclusive. So the next book. Now, look, speaking exclusives, obviously Street Fighter's got a lot of love, a lot of fans. I'm a fan of Street Fighter. I play Street Fighter. I still got to get the latest one on PS5, so I could kick Hyper's ass. I know he's not watching because he's taking a little hiatus, but Street Fighter Summer Sports Special #1, obviously featuring Chun-Li on here. This is the Focus Attack exclusive, Nicki Minaj homage. That's right, you guys. If
Oh
you're
shit, that's
Yeah,
what
if
it
you're a
is.
Nicki Minaj fan, you would know that she had her Chun-Li song that came out, and unfortunately, I only know of that because of this book. Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't even know. I didn't know. But CGC 9.8 sold for 355 US dollars. Cover price shaker. And Armin, you're a fan of Scotty Young, right? You're a fan, not Scotty Young only, but what I meant to say was Scott Campbell. You're
Scott
a fan,
Campbell, yeah.
yeah. And I know you're into these. I want to say erotic covers, sort of, so to speak. I know you do get into some of those. A lot of people like covers like that, and of course a lot of people picking up, seeking out covers as such, right? I think this is a beautiful cover. You've got a perfect mix of, a rather pleasantly looking Chun-Li on a, it's a video game character on a comic book. I think it's a great combination. Neat book to own. What's your thoughts?
Didn't even know it existed, but it's a very nice cover, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, is it worth $355? Personally, I would never pay that price
Yeah.
for a book for just the cover. But somebody did, man. Somebody did. I would buy it at cover price. I would buy it for $10.
Yeah.
But that's about as far as I would go.
Yeah, we ain't going 355 USD, but no knock on whoever did purchase that. I think it's a nice book, definitely worthy of a display. Yeah. But all right, let's move on from this one. We're gonna talk. Okay. I can't believe we're even talking about Turok. Yeah, newbie, if you're watching, dude, the book finally made the list. Yes,
Dude,
Turok.
I have a box of about 100 of them up there.
Get ready, Armin. Turok Dinosaur Hunter #1. There's only 299s on CGC Census, and a 99 sold for 750 US dollars. Now, there's only two. You just said you have a box of 100, so maybe you're hoarding some other ones that can bring up that only two on the census. But man, cover price shaker. Dude, I can't believe we're talking about this book. It made
Nuts.
Yeah, it made a big sale.
It's not even a dollar book, dude. It's a 50-cent book.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
So I mean, a 9.9. When is CGC starting the 9.9 pre-screens?
Yeah, very soon. But yeah, man. So you said you had 100 of these. Was this based off of speculation, or it's just a book that you tend to pick up?
No, man. I ended up buying out a store that went belly up. I don't know, like 20 years ago, and the guy had a lot of Valiant comics in there, and this was one of them, man.
Yep. Dude, it's nuts, man. CGC 9.9, 750 US dollars. Hilarious. Yeah, well, I am gonna laugh at this one, and there's no holding back. I won't play.
No, I mean, Honestly, the guy overpaid.
No kidding. No
Way
kidding.
overpaid. I mean, 200 max
Yep.
because it's a 9.9. Like 200. Like,
Yep.
I mean, like my ASM 300 foil sold for less than that, and it's an ASM 300.
Yep. Yep.
So that's crazy.
Yep. Well, to be fair, I mean, I guess the foil's a facsimile, so but it was a 9.9, you said, and it sold
Yeah,
for way
man.
less. So,
Yeah.
yep. Overpaid, definitely. So okay, seems like majority of us are agreeing. There you go. No kidding. Anyways, cover price shaker this week, guys. But this one's pretty interesting because the hood number one's made its way to a few lists here. You have it at number 3 on CBSI, number 19 on cover price, and of course I also saw it on Key Collectors. I think it was the trending 20 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, first appearance of the hood, Parker Robbins. Now there's still hood stuff that's supposed to be taking place within the MCU, but if you're reading the current comics at the moment, he's pretty much going to be the spirit of vengeance right now. So a lot of people looking forward to that. And is that what's causing people to flock towards this book? Not too sure, but you have a good combination of both MCU worthy spec and of course comic spec. So yeah, we're seeing some sales, and the CGC 9.8 sold for $220. Not too shabby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't know nothing about this book until about a year ago. A
Yeah.
year ago, people started bringing me this book, and I'm like, whenever I get the same book over and over and over again, I start asking myself questions. Why are people bringing me this book?
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Now that I see it's these guys were a little ahead of the curve, man, and they figured it out. So
Yep.
good for them. Good for
Yep.
them.
And of course, you're talking a year ago, so we're
Yeah.
talking MCU spec, a lot of Ironheart spec, right? There was a lot of people and rumors surrounding that he was going to be in the Ironheart series. Now that's still to be determined because, to be honest with you, I don't even know what's happening with the Ironheart series. It seems like it's gone quiet a little bit, and maybe that's why Newbie went quiet a little bit. I'm not too sure, but yeah, we'll see, man. I think the Hood would be a great character to play out in the MCU, especially with everything that's going to be unfolding. So I hope to see it take place, but I am definitely pumped to see him,
As
Spirit of Vengeance, baby. Here we go within comics. I think that's going to be an awesome read. So keep an eye out for that, guys.
cool.
But all right, guys, this might be a spoiler, but if it is, I don't even apologize, to be honest with you, because everybody's talking about this. Cobra Commander number 1. This is the 1 in 100 ratio by John Boy Mayers. Now, I love John Boy. Everybody knows I love John Boy. Raw high sale was 201 Canadian dollars, guys. That's right. It came in at number 8 on CBSI. Energon Universe. There you go. You got people screaming Energon in the chat. But dude, Megatron, Cobra Commander. Wow. That was a great read, man. I had the opportunity to read it online. I still don't have my physical copy of the book. Did you read this? Are you up to date with what's going on?
I wish. First of all, I just want to say this is a crazy cover.
Yep.
2 big bads right there, dead center. It's just beautiful, man.
Yep.
And I would love to find a copy. And thank God you said 200 Canadian, because if you had said 200 US, I was going to be like, shit, I can't afford that,
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Not for a 1 in 100, but it's definitely surpassed ratio price, right? So
yeah, man. I hope it settles down a little bit to around 100, and then it's maybe worth picking up,
Yeah. It's awesome to see. And it's, Francis says this, and I agree, because G.I. Joe making a comeback. For the longest time, there's always been G.I. Joe fans. There's always been Transformers fans, and so forth, right? But I feel like right now it's come front and center, right? They're doing it properly with this Energon universe, and I think the introduction, the stories, and the way they're bringing these characters in, it's very refreshing. Kind of like how everybody felt reading. I guess we can compare it to Ultimate Spider-Man, right? There's a lot of love going that way, but reading wise, also for this stuff, if you were a fan back then, I feel like you will be a fan now. I've seen some people a little disgruntled or not fully satisfied with how certain things are playing out. Example, even Cobra Commander number 1. I saw some people feel a certain way, and that's totally fine. But I will say, I think it's awesome, and even for new readers, it is very easy to bring in. You know what I mean? Sure,
Yeah.
you don't entirely need to know the history. It's always much better if you do, but uh, take it from a newbie perspective. It's a great read.
Definitely looking forward to reading all of the Energon universe books, man. Everybody just honestly, I haven't heard anything negative. I'm surprised you just mentioned there's some people that are blah blah blah. There, you can't
Uh,
please everyone. There's always going to be complainers and haters, but
yeah.
I've heard just good things about the whole universe, man.
Yes, Michael Baker bringing up a great point. The
Void
most
Rivals.
important part, almost pretty much, is Void Rival. So there you go. It all kicks off right there. Yeah, exactly. Void Rivals is the key book. Couldn't agree more, guys. But let's move on from this. Gambit number one, the gold foil edition. Dude, CGC 9.8, $730. Baker Shaker. That's right. Michael Baker. I see you in the chat. You're here. We're giving love to Michael Baker, who DMs me every week some wicked sales. And this one, $730. Armin,
Very
I don't know.
justified.
Have you seen this book in person?
Yes, 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 man.
Really?
Very, very tough book to get a 9.8 on because the gold foil, the way it's made, man, every little crack breaks color.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like right from the press, it's already got color breaks, man. It's really tough. I'm surprised it went that low.
Really? Okay, you consider this low. I consider this high. I'm like,
Oh
man.
yeah, I don't know if there's a lot on the census, man. I'd have to check it out because I've never held the 9.8 in my hands of this book.
I actually had the census open earlier today. I don't know if I still do. Let me see if I could get to it. Yeah, so hold on. No, this one dropped in 1994. So it would be this one right here and the gold foil. No, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Anyways, I don't want to take up too much time going through this, but oh, here you go. So no, again, wrong one. Anyways, I'll get to it. I'll get to it after the show. I'll probably drop it in the comment section.
No
But
problem, man.
yeah, though I did see a few 9.8s on the census. I
Okay.
wanted to give you guys the exact total, but there's a few. So
Okay.
yeah, pretty interesting. All right. We're gonna talk foreign. We're gonna talk Spawn. Yes, that's right. Michael Baker, Baker Shaker, Spawn 14. This is the Japanese edition. I didn't even know this shit existed up until Michael Baker sent this to me. I was like, how do you even find these things? Like, it's
Wow.
nuts. But the Japanese edition contains Spawn issues 41 to 43. And the CGC 9.8 sold for $550. Now, Michael Baker also took the time to tell me this is the only copy in a 9.8. So pretty interesting sale. I don't know how I feel about that because yes, it's the only copy at the moment. But the Japanese edition, like I said, those foreign books, man, a lot of love for the foreign stuff. So, what's your thoughts on this? I know you're a Spawn fan, and I
Yeah.
think this is neat to have within the collection.
Look, obviously, something that's coming from Japan or any other country hits the U.S. market, and it's a one of one. It's gonna fetch a high price if it's a character that's in demand.
Yeah,
You're bringing a foreign, I don't know, SpongeBob comic, nobody cares.
yeah,
But you're bringing a Spawn, you're bringing a Spider-Man, you're bringing something that's done by a high-end artist. It could be Mickey Mouse, like Delotto's, the Delotto Mickey Mouse covers he did.
yeah.
It really makes a difference, man.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. And like I said, I had no idea about this book, but of course, shout out to Michael Baker for hitting me up and telling me about this sale. I also wouldn't be surprised if he was the one who bought it. Yeah, everybody here who knows Michael Baker, he's a huge Spawn fan. But guys, that was the market report. Now we've got one more thing to do on this show, and that's talk about some of the hot topics from the week. And there were some very hot topics. So we're gonna get into that. But Armin, for the last time tonight, brother, I gotta ask you, are you ready?
Let's do it, man.
All right. So the hot topics of the week. Normally, I go through several topics that have taken place within the week, but I feel like we need to shed some light on that big news. That well, I wouldn't even say it's news. Whatever. Something everybody's been talking about this week, which was the CGC 9.9 prescreen, and we'll get into that. But first, I want to get into a few smaller topics that came out this week. Tatiana Maslany is not hopeful for a second season of She-Hulk. So, okay, few things to unpack here. She says that, apparently they blew their budget within season one, which I'm gonna be honest, kind of didn't surprise me. But I'm wondering if it's one of those situations where it's like, yeah, we blew the budget, so we're not able to, I don't think we're gonna get a season two, or is it because it got such, poor feedback? I would say a lot of people were not too satisfied with She-Hulk. I was neutral with it. I was okay with it. I didn't mind it. Like, I read She-Hulk, right? So I kind of expected certain things, right? Nothing surprised me. Now,
Right.
did they modernize the character? I know a lot of people were like, "Yo, the twerking scene was absolutely cringy. Like, it was terrible." But I mean, it's She-Hulk. Read a She-Hulk comic. Like,
Yeah.
she's out there. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, look, I have to say, if you've never read She-Hulk and you don't know how goofy or quirky the character is, you're going to be shocked at the show.
Yeah.
Right. And not many viewers today in that demographic were comic book readers of She-Hulk in the 80s to know
Yeah.
that she's a goofy character.
Of
I
course.
think that's where the show failed, because they tried to stay true to the character and it kind of flopped because of that reason.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
if they had revamped it, then all the comic book guys would be like, "Oh, it's not the real She-Hulk." They would hate it, but maybe the general public would have liked it more.
Yeah. It's a good point. Now, look, again, there's certain things that I will also say were trash from the series. Like, there's no way in hell I will show any appreciation to how Scar was presented within that series. I think he
Right,
looks like
right.
shit.
Even
um
Daredevil.
yeah, of course. Yeah. And especially, I think what really pissed people off is that that was the first transition from the Netflix Daredevil to the MCU Daredevil, and it was like, what the fuck did we just get? A lot of people were pissed. So now we got a little bit more of Daredevil within Echo, and it goes without saying, guys, we're gonna get the Man Without Fear. We're gonna get Daredevil. It'll get gritty. We saw it within Echo, but yeah, for a first impression, it was kind of like very underwhelming. But anyways, so that's apparently not going to be taking place. But another interesting thing, speaking MCU, was, Robert Downey Jr. says Marvel let the lunatics run the asylum with the first movie, and it's pretty awesome to see him say that, because he says he didn't hesitate to sign on because of Jon Favreau. Now, Favreau has done some great things, if not some of the best things for the MCU. Not just the MCU, but even Disney, right? You're looking at Mandalorian, you're looking at so much great stuff. Favreau is a nerd at heart for sure, man. Like, he knows exactly what he was putting out here. But I like this. I like seeing Robert Downey Jr. say this, because it kind of tells you a certain thing, at least in my perspective. Seeing him say this, it's kind of like, the lunatics ran the asylum, and it almost feels like that's what the MCU kind of needs now, right? I could see where the MCU stands and how they're producing product, and the change it's clearly obvious, right? What do you take from this? You know what I mean? Like, do you think they need to go back to, I guess, that mentality of like, let the lunatics run wild, let's make this just a banger movie or whatever it may be for future projects of the MCU, rather than be a little more careful with their product? I want to say they're
Well,
careful, if that
here's
makes
the
any
thing,
sense.
man. You can't put a damper on the creative process.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of let the lunatics run wild. You got to give freedom to your creative team to come up with good stories and to produce good content. Now, if the head office or the corporation is putting a lot of pressure on the creative team to do things a certain way, well, they're not being creative anymore.
Yeah.
They're being told what to do. So it kind of hinders the story. It hinders the whole. It's a domino effect, man.
Yep.
So you're not gonna get back to being good until you give that creative freedom back to the creators.
Yeah. Yeah. And in some cases, creative freedom could also go the opposite direction.
Oh yeah, like in Warner Brothers, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. That was Warner Brothers has done some very interesting things, but yeah, man, I think definitely I see where you're coming from with that one. Now, I just want to pick up what Lee Cooper here is saying. I would watch Rebel Moon if I were you. It does have some Star Wars esque tones to it, but it is a really good part one of a major movie. Well, I appreciate that feedback. I am gonna take the time to watch it for sure. But back to the MCU talk. Yeah, I kind of feel like the MCU is on pace to putting together something awesome. I think those crumbs and pieces that they're putting together might be a little long, I guess, for people because we got Endgame, we got Infinity War, and we want something big on that scale again, right? But now everything happening with Jonathan Majors and the Kang stuff and all that,
Right.
who knows, right? I think right now it's going to be crucial to see what's the next step for Marvel, but I just wanted to shed some light on what Robert Downey Jr. here said. I thought it was, awesome to see that the lunatics did run wild at the beginning, and you could kind of feel it, right? You go back to watch Iron Man 1, you're like, man, this is badass. Like, this is a good movie. And I think it held the test of time, right? I think Iron Man 1 is still up there as one of the top movies
Right.
out of the MCU.
Right. I couldn't agree more, man.
Yeah. Deadpool 3, let's go. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I
Yeah.
can't wait. I don't know. Somebody dropped a trailer earlier today. I don't know if it was a real one or
No,
not.
no, no. That was
It was
fake. That
fake.
was
It was
totally
fake.
fake. I
Okay.
saw that.
I was like, holy shit, this is good, but it looks too fake.
Yeah, no, that was totally fake. There's no trailer. Trust me, if the trailer goes wild, everybody's going wild. Everyone's gonna know. But guys, let's get into the big topic. The big topic, the possibility of a 9.9 pre-screen. So if you guys had the opportunity, I'm sure pretty much almost everybody here has already seen this interview. And I want to give a quick shout out to the 9.9 newsstand. Of
Yeah.
course, West Coast Avenger as well. Over on his channel, this is where it took place. So if you guys didn't watch it yet, I highly recommend you go and check it out. But 9.9 newsstand out the gate has been on top of so many things once the reholder stuff came about, right? He waved that flag. He let everybody know about what was going on, and his detective work was absolutely impressive. Seriously,
Yeah.
I don't know what he does for a living. Might want to consider, bro. Might want to consider. But anyways, um, fast forward, right? There's the reholder stuff that took place. They had the discussion over on West Coast Avengers YouTube channel, and Matt Nelson let out a little line where he's pretty much stating that the idea of a CGC 9.9 pre-screen is definitely it's on the table. So it kind of seems like everything swerved to that direction. The main focus since that interview has been that. It's like almost everybody forgot about the reholder stuff, which I guys don't let don't let CGC. I don't want to say don't let them get away with it, but like don't forget that took place. That is still something very important that needs to be addressed. But now,
For sure.
we shift gears and we're talking the 9.9 pre-screen possibilities, and a lot of people are voicing their opinions on this ever since, right? So Matt Nelson talks about that, and pretty much the internet erupts, and many people doing some great videos. Of course, I always mention the usual suspects like Swagwaz, Keep It Thorough, Automatic Comics, and you know even Pressable Defects. We're talking about this. 9.9 Newsstand actually hopped on their channel this past week. I think it was on Wednesday night. If you guys didn't yet, go catch that replay as well, where 9.9 Newsstand, Jay and Matt start talking about a couple things related to that. And they also say a few things that I felt out the gate when I heard this, which is, first off, it kind of felt like a swerve, right? Like how, oh yeah, that reholder stuff, but we're also thinking about this, and then
Right.
boom, everybody looks that way, right? The big dynamite goes off on this side. But there was that, but also, a lot of people voicing their concerns on the fact that the possibility of a CGC 9.9 pre-screen, how would it impact, how would it affect our books, our current books that are in existence, right? And you and I were talking backstage before going live on certain books that, whether it be modern or even a little pre-modern, like we were talking the 9.8 pedigree of ASM1, right, being a 9.8, when realistically, like, there's spine ticks on at the bottom of that thing, and it's like, really? Like, That's a 9.8, man. I sent you a clean ass copy with no spine ticks, but for some reason I got a 9.6 with no notes on it. But anyways, but you know, there's a concern there. So let's break it down very quickly. We'll go through certain sections. So the distraction phase. I don't know if you're in agreement with me on that one.
Oh,
Like,
definitely. Look, I don't know if it was purposely done, but it was a genius strategy move to deflect the whole interview and kind of like get people to talk about the 9.9 possibility of a pre-screen, and then everybody forgot about, like you said, it didn't even take 2 seconds. They weren't even talking about the whole scandal anymore.
yeah,
And at the end of the interview, it felt like they were buddy buddy with Matt Nelson.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, but they even say, hey man, we were, I mean, they even comment. I think 9.9 Newsstand says, we were ready to drill you today, but now you're giving us this and you're giving us that, and like, how can we be not nice to you, like kind of thing, So genius plan. I don't know if it was planned, but that was a genius move anyways.
yeah.
I mean, the reholder thing, supposedly only one person involved, only 350 books. A lot of people already sent in books to be evaluated. Apparently they're going to keep all of them for, evidence, but everybody's supposed to be compensated fair market value. And again, some people said, yeah, well, if I bought it for 15,000 2 years ago, I don't want 10,000 now.
Yeah.
Okay. But if they compensate you with another copy of the book, who cares what they paid for it? You got another copy of the book.
Yeah. France is going hard with this one. This is a great one. But yeah, that's pretty much what it felt like. Now, yeah, the reholder stuff, talking about that, because you were mentioning, like, yeah, well, I paid 15,000 for that book, and now you're going to give me, fair market value, and clearly it's going to be significantly lower, and yada yada. That hurts, bro. That hurts. Now, good on CGC for doing what they're doing when it comes to that investigation, but I really believe that it doesn't end there. I do think there's a lot more. Now, you've dealt with CGC slabs for quite some time now. There's a few questions I want to ask you about that, because CGC slabs, you tend to submit mostly to CGC. You almost rarely use CBCS, right?
Yeah.
Is there a reason for that, or is it just because preference? Everybody wants CGC.
Well, I mean, I tried CBCS. I mean, yeah, the pandemic did hit right when I sent in my submission. So it did take over a year to get back the books. That wasn't the problem. The problem was when I was trying to reach customer service. So they outsourced their customer service to China, and it takes 2-3 days, sometimes even a week, to get an answer.
Wow.
It's just not good business, man.
Yeah.
Until they relocate their customer service to North America or have it in-house, I just don't want to deal with them.
Yeah. So you've already gone through the negative experience with CBCS, and that's what's made you shy fully away and go to CGC.
Yeah, because I have tons of signed books I'd love to get certified.
Yeah.
But I just don't do it. I'm just waiting.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because oftentimes I come across books that are signed and it has a COA, and in my head immediately I'm like, oh, I'm going to send this to CBCS, right? Like it'll come back a yellow label. But when you factor, things like that, it kind of makes you want to take a step back and maybe not do such, right? Now, back to CGC, like I said, you mostly ship to CGC. You've seen maybe thousands of cases at this point. Now, the reholder thing, you've cracked slabs, right? You've gone through that process. At any point, did you ever feel like, man, there's a possibility of doing such a thing?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Look, it's very, very, very easy to do. And I'm going to be honest, the thought crossed my mind. I said, oh, fuck, dude, somebody could just slip another book in here, man.
Yeah.
Like it cracked enough for me to slip the book out without damaging the case.
And then
I wasn't intentionally trying to do that, but 1 out of 100, it happened. And the thought did cross my mind. So if I thought about it, for sure there's other people that are less honest that are going to think the same thing and actually do it, man.
Yeah. And that's the point I was trying to make, is like, so far we catch one guy and possibly 350 books that have been tampered with. I'm pretty sure there's more to this list, man. Like the more you talk to people, it just seems more realistic that it would be a bigger list than what is being put out by CGC. Now, that's that on that end. When it comes to the reholder stuff, did the reholder stuff, before we wrap up the reholder stuff, did that make you want to shy away from not CGC as a whole, but maybe purchasing graded books and so
Well,
forth.
here's the thing. The books that most people are going to try to pull something like this on are more higher end books.
Yeah.
Books that are missing a coupon or a tattoo or something like that, where they're just going to swap it out and resubmit the book that's actually got the complete coupon or the tattoo or whatever is missing. So I don't really deal in those types of books myself personally. I deal mostly in modern books, books from 1980 and up. So it didn't really affect me at all whatsoever. I'm honestly just going on with my business as usual.
For sure. So it's funny that you mentioned, for you, it's mostly 1980 and up. Now we're talking the 9.9 pre-screen possibility. And of course, this again was mentioned as it's on the table type thing. It's not a confirmed thing, but looking at that possibility, you just finished saying how, most books from the 80s and up are what you're dealing with. This is my perspective. You tell me how you feel as well, of course. But especially modern books, okay? We're talking what 85 and up. We'll just say big key books. Does this now allow for people who have 9.8s, right? Because it's mostly people who have 9.8s that are probably going to be doing the pre-screen, right?
Exactly.
Maybe some 9.6s. Maybe somebody's got faith in his 9.4. That
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like maybe, but now we enter that and we enter that level of like, oh, well, now these 9.8s have the capacity of hitting 9.9, so there's going to be maybe fewer 9.8s because we're going to get some of those bumps. But obviously, the most sought out for one is going to be the 9.9, no longer the 9.8, because like Jay said on the pressable defects, and it's something I've been saying for the longest time when it comes to CGC. We all talk amongst ourselves, especially within our group chat, how CGC themselves, like 9.8 became the 10 for some reason, right? Like the 9.9s and the 10s are almost non-existent.
Correct.
And you would figure that the grading company itself would start at a 10 and keep going backwards, right? Like, okay, well, we cut this, so now it makes it a 9.9 and then a 9.8 and then a 9.6 and so forth. So I've always questioned how they graded their books, and that's something that I can go into for the longest time. We could be here for another 3 hours talking about that, but now you're looking at this 9.9 option, and it almost feels like the 9.8 stuff is just it's gonna tank. A lot of people feel like it would tank. Like you take a book like Ultimate Fallout 4, you could take, I don't know, ASM 300, you could take Edge of Spider-Verse 2, like all these books that are sitting in 9.8s where we rarely see those 9.9s. Would that impact, and what do you think of that idea just in general?
Okay. First off, like I think like a 9.9 is already very, like you said, when from my understanding, when Matt was talking, he said that when they're grading up to a 9.8. Like you said, they've somehow capped it at 9.8. And to give a book an actual 9.9, from what he said was that it takes more time to reevaluate and double check, maybe triple check what they look at to give it that 9.9.
Yeah.
So he was saying that in some cases, a 9.8 might be a 9.9. We just didn't have the time to evaluate it long enough to give it the 9.9 grade. So
Now,
what they want to do is
hold on. I want to stop you there, okay? Because what you just said, okay, hearing that as a client, somebody who submits to CGC, you're putting your fucking faith in taking your book, sending it to CGC, where I'm paying for a service for you to take the time, So to hear we did not have the time, automatically you pissed me off, right?
I'm just repeating what I understood from Matt, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. I mean, he actually said it takes more time to evaluate a book and give it a 9.9 or a 10. So if you resubmit your 9.8s for a 9.9 pre-screen, the cost might be a little higher because we have to allocate more time to the employee to evaluate the book.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are they going to charge more for the service, he's actually justifying that he has to charge more.
Yeah. So all I'm hearing is cha-ching,
Yeah,
cha-ching, cha-ching.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, they're not going to be giving those 9.8s, 9.9s just for the fun of it. It really is going to be as strict as it still is right now.
But with a premium is what I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
with a premium.
Yeah.
I mean, if your book, like, okay, I'm going to give one example. I know James Dewar, you know him
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah.
He has Something is Killing the Children, 21 Ashcan.
Mm-hmm.
That book, he gave it to me for grading. To me, that book was a 10.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to you, it was the nicest book I've ever held in my hands. And they gave it a 9.8.
Yeah.
Now, if I was James, I would use the 9.9 pre-screen on that book.
Yes.
Because I know that one could hit a 9 or 10. But I wouldn't just throw any book because it's a 9.8 and it might get a 9.9.
No, for sure. But you see, what you're saying right there is how that's the most beautiful book that you've ever seen, right? Before I actually get into this, I got to give a shout out to my brother Brian McClay is in the house, man. Beyond Wednesdays, baby. Yes, killer show last night, man. I caught the replay this morning. Hoping to hop on, man, with you sometime soon. I know we're in that group chat. Hopefully this weekend, bro. Maybe this Saturday. But yeah, man, like. I think what pisses me off again hearing that is like you held this book. It's a 10, right? Nicest book you've ever seen. And you've seen thousands and thousands of books as a presser, a cleaner, submitter.
Absolutely.
And it comes back a 9.8 regardless of the fact. It's
Yeah.
just frustrating because on that 9.8, there's no notes. CGC tells everybody, guys, guess what? Grader notes are free now, but they put no fucking notes. It's a piss off. It's a complete piss off, especially when you know, like you just said, that book you submitted is a 10. It's like even if it comes back a 9.8, I want to know why the hell did it come back a 9.8?
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me, right? So it's kind of questionable how they're already grading. To be honest, fully, I grade my books. Majority of the time, it's books that I just like enjoy displaying, and obviously, you want to get that value, right? You want to get that value out of your book, and you know, some people like to flip, some people like to do whatever the fuck it is that they want to do with their books. But for myself, I just think out the gate, it's the grading process is always questionable, right? It's like you're trusting an individual or maybe two individuals if they're both looking. I don't know how they do it. I don't care,
Right.
but you're trusting these people to grade your book. Now, we've said it many times how if you really want perfection, well, you're gonna have to go to maybe the extent of getting that AI standard programming for grading, right? It'll pass through and so forth. But like you said, you know, a book that should have hit a 10 comes back a 9.8. It's a piss off. I think, you know, at least put some notes. That's the least you could do for your clients. Now, I know one thing I can't stand here is, yeah, but it takes more time, right? We're gonna have to allocate more money into this. Dude, I am already paying you for this service. You are a grading service, a grading company, and you're supposed to be the golden standard, apparently, right? Because everybody prefers CGC cases or whatever it may be. But that's kind of like a slap in the face. That's how I digest that. That's me. Somebody else might take it differently. So if you feel a different way.
I was a little shocked when he said we don't have the time to give it a 9.9. Honestly, I was like, did he just say that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's pretty messed up. So now we get to this 9.9 pre-screen and people feeling a certain way where, you know, this might depreciate on those 9.8s that are currently in existence, right? Dude, yeah, I do foresee that happening. You know, like take an example. We'll say, I don't know, I'm just going to talk we'll talk Edge of Spider-Verse 2, right? So maybe that's a $1,200 Canadian book in a 9.8. Now 9.9s. I'll take my copy, pre-screen it. Oh yeah, this is a 9.9. So this jumps 9.8. Does anybody even care type thing? Where does that end?
Well, look, let's say there's about 300 9.8s, 400 9.8s of that book.
Yeah.
There's probably only, I don't know, I would say less than 5 9.9s. I'm just guessing here.
Yeah.
It's not going to overnight become 200 9.9s and 100 9.8s. You know, it's not, that's not going to happen, man.
Yeah.
If it does, then I would say that the grading process is bullshit.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. Now
it's pure bullshit.
Yeah, Nick saying, guys, regardless of the issues, CGC still the best solution for grading for me. Yeah, and again, I don't hate CGC. I'm not knocking them. I'm just calling out what I'm hearing. If I'm hearing certain things, dude, as a customer, as a client, it sounds like a slap in the face. It's kind of like, I don't know, man. You buy yourself a new pair of Jordans, man. It doesn't fit, and then you get back to the cash, and you're like, hey, can I exchange these for a size 11? And they're like, well, we don't have time for you. Come back in 3 weeks. Like, fuck you. You know what I mean? It's kind of what it felt like, right? So hearing
Yeah.
such a thing, maybe that's not the best comparison, but like, it, I just feel like customer service doesn't go the full extent that a golden tier company should be doing. So if you're telling me, it's going to cost you so and so to get your book graded, it comes with grader notes, but yet, when you check, there's no grader notes. I think that for myself is quite frustrating, especially now if you want to introduce the 9.9 stuff as a possible pre-screen. Again, this is not confirmed, right? This was all, it's on the table type thing. But
Yeah.
if you're going
Yeah.
to offer that service, man, you better start doing some extra work, especially when it comes to those 9.8s. Put those notes, man. The
Yeah.
9.6 is like, why the hell did I get a 9.6?
I
Dude,
mean,
I get back a book in 9.6 that looked perfect to me too. And it's like, what was it? Because I don't see anything. You
yeah.
didn't see anything.
I actually got two 9.8s with graders notes, man.
Yeah.
Two 9.8s with graders notes. When I saw the graders notes, I'm like, what? Why? And one of them was minor scuffing on the back cover, and the other one was a spine tick that breaks color on a 9.8, man. Those were the two comments I had.
Yeah. And I'm shocked that you even got some notes because, like I said, books that look completely flawless come back at 9.6, no notes. So that for me is
Crazy.
mind-boggling. It's upsetting, not just to me, but I know that many people who are collectors or flippers, whatever you want to label yourself as, it can be upsetting, right? So
Yeah, you want to know why, of course, so that you can learn and move, submit better books next time,
yeah,
right?
exactly. And also, myself that I've been collecting for quite some time, I know what to look out for. And I have a big appreciation for you because, I didn't submit comics to CGC prior to meeting you. And one thing, you've shown me the ropes. You said, like you can see here color break, you can see here there's like a little stupidity fingerprint, and all that stuff. So now when I'm out in the wild looking for books, these are things that I'm taking with me, right? All the information you've given to myself, to the group, we take that when we're hunting and we're like, oh, okay. Like I do it, guys. I swear to God, okay, chat, everybody who's watching. I walked up to an LCS and I told them, I said, guys, I'm looking for a Hulk 340. And they said, no problem. We'll put it on your list. When we come across one, we'll set it aside for you. I said, no problem. They finally hit me up. They let me know, hey, we found your Hulk 340. I said, great. I will be there to come check the book. I go check it. First thing I see is the price tag. The price tag was $350 Canadian. That's raw, right? This thing has to be impeccable. I literally pull out the book. I turn it over. Tick, tick, tick,
Oh
tick.
my God.
And I'm like, dude, what the
No,
fuck?
thank you.
$350, right? But,
Thank you.
a lot of people would maybe prior, I'm just saying, like a naive version of myself, rewind, like let's say, I don't know, 8 years ago or whatever, maybe I would have missed that. You know what I mean? Like I
Right.
didn't know these things, so I'm using ticks as an example, but I could see color break, I could see all that stuff.
For
I
sure.
remember when I bought my Super Mario #1, I was talking with you and there was that line,
Yeah.
right? There's that little line that goes across on the right side. Now apparently this is quite common for the book, right? It's that glossy finish. I would have never known this shit, right? Had I not known some of the stuff that I've experienced, right? So what I'm trying to gather by all this of what I'm saying is CGC should take the initiative of letting people know so that myself as a collector, well, I can get, slightly better. I can be a little more cautious and not waste my fucking money sending you trash, right?
100%, man.
And
100%.
not that it's trash, but like, if I miss that slight imperfection, it would be nice to, know what it was that set it up. Because I have some books, I look back at them, I literally take the slab, I look in the front, I'm looking at the back, I'm looking at the corner. I remember pre-submitting the book, like there was nothing wrong with it. It came back in 9.6. I'm like, what
Yeah.
in the fuck?
But
Why?
but Gerlando, that happens, I would say, about 5-10% of the time where a book gets misgraded. The guy has an off day. And if it's a high value book, like what happened to Jason once, he got a Edge of Spider-Verse 2. The book was flawless. It came back 9.6. I told him, look, man, spend another $50. Let's send it back, dude. This book is a 9.8. Trust me, it's a 9.8. And I didn't even do anything, dude. I cracked it, put it in a bag and board, send it back as is, comes back 9.8.
There you go.
Later.
Yeah. It's nuts. Absolutely. But
Sometimes,
that's what I'm saying is you're paying for that. And to resubmit it, did you pay for that or was there a dispute?
Yeah, for sure. He paid another $50 and now his book is a $1,200 book instead of a $400 book. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely nuts. But that's what I'm saying is you would expect a better process overall. So now with the 9.9 stuff, it kind of has me as, okay, you guys are over, you're looking at broadening, your stuff and growing and elevating. That's fine. But there's so much stuff down here that needs fixing. And that's the only thing that I took away from this. And I didn't take away any positivity from that 9.9 stuff, other than the fact that he did a great job redirecting from the reholder stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So
for sure.
So there you go. Yeah.
I just want to give one other example. Like, let's say Ultimate Fallout 4, there's 0 9.9s.
Yeah.
There's probably, I don't know, 2,000, 2,500 9.8s.
Yeah.
I don't expect there to be 500 9.9s 5 years from now.
No, I hope not.
That book is heavily damaged because of the polybag.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be almost impossible to get a 9.9 right off the bat.
Yeah. I really hope that's the case, man. Because like you said, it's going to come with that premium. If people are paying that premium, I hope they're going to be a little more cautious. And, had they had some notes on those 9.8s, people would be aware prior, like, okay.
Forget it. I'm not trying this one.
Yeah. It might not be worthy of doing such a thing.
Right.
So, yeah, this all ties into what we were discussing. But Arman, huge thank you for hopping on tonight, man. Had a great time talking about it, and especially going through the entire show with a perspective of somebody who presses clean submit comics for so many years now, doing your thing. You've mastered it. You've become you're literally a Jedi for this in my opinion. So for a guy who started off as just doing it for fun, big props to you. We need AI, take people out of the equation. Look, I disagree. I disagree with AI on pretty much everything, man, especially when it comes to art, stuff like that. Again, AI art can be nice. Example here, I spoke about it at the beginning of the show. This Zelda stuff is absolutely incredible. Wow. But man, when it comes to grading, I would be okay with that, simply because it would be way more consistent rather than somebody having to spend an extra $50 to go get the grade they felt they deserved. Yeah. Right.
Aren't cards done by laser?
That's what I've heard from certain places. So
for the centering and all that stuff.
Yeah, Spider Hunters in the house. Yo, Canada boys in the house. What's good from the East Coast, man? Not much, dude. I'm in the East Coast. I'm freezing. I have a sweater 3 times my size because I'm frozen. But I appreciate you coming to hang out. 9.9s are stupid. There you go. So Spider Hunter's giving his opinion. Leftero's like resubmitting a 9.6 and seeing what happens. Yeah, exactly. Great show, so much knowledge. Nick, appreciate you coming to swing by. Gear Up is the bomb, is what he says. Amazing job, guys. Great show, BC. Great show with you, Armin. Great show with the chat. The chat is always my favorite part of the show, is hearing what everybody has to say. But of course, guys, like I said at the beginning of the show, Gear Up has recently launched his YouTube channel. He's doing some great things. So go over and subscribe. Check out the description of this video. Show some love. He's got some great unboxings. And yeah, he's even gotten back some 9.9s recently. So you can check out some of that stuff. Armin, is there anything you want to say to these people?
Dude, I had an awesome time. Thanks for having me. It was, I watch your show every Sunday and I'm like, man, it would be nice to go on there one day. It would be really cool to chat with everybody, and thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed it.
It's a pleasure, man. Door's always open anytime you want to hop on. But guys, I'll be coming back, of course, next Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. But apparently there's going to be some Fantastic Four news. We're hoping that we're going to get some casting news. So if some casting news does break, expect me to go live. I might go live with Chiapet and maybe Anthony from Reference Point podcast. So keep an eye out for that. But guys, appreciate you all. If anybody wants to hop on the show, hit me up, DM me, Instagram. The door's always open. I'm always ready to talk comics with all of you. So guys, have yourselves a great week. Have yourselves a great night. And I will see you next Sunday. Peace.